right. Welcome back into another edition of the Hillside Club. I'm Rob Cardini, joined alongside James Martin III. I hope you all had a great weekend and you're tuning back into the fast-growing Hillside Club. We got some great views, some great interaction this weekend. So thank you guys so much for supporting us, following us, and interacting with all our content. You could see it. We both got the golf, merch on. We got, I got my Waste Management. James, more importantly, has his Travelers gear on. Travelers Championship just happened this past weekend and actually ended in a playoff earlier today with Scottie Scheffler and Viktor Hovland going to a playoff. And Viktor Hovland won in a playoff because Scottie Scheffler misses another putt, which could have, extended the playoff. But before we get really into the golf, James, you were at the Travelers Championship. You survived the monsoon. Dude. I want to get you and your take on, what your experience was at the Travelers.
I absolutely love that tournament. Like, that tournament is, when you think of golf, right, like just the spectacle and like what the PGA is, I think you think of the Travelers, right? Like just the way the tournament is set up, the community is just behind the tournament. Food is amazing. Just walking the grounds, you have a great time. The fan zone, everything about it, I loved it. But the monsoon that came in during that tournament, I was in a porta potty going to the restroom, and I just start hearing raindrops hit the top of the porta potty, and I was like, "What's going on right now?" Right, and then you start hearing commotion. Right, I'm on, I think, the 13th where, Scottie and Victor, they're wrapping up their hole on the 13th green, and like the raindrops start settling in, and all of a sudden, boom, Scottie throws on the vest.
Oh boy.
And then the umbrellas come out for the players, and I was like, uh-oh. And I look up and I see, when you see rain clouds, and he's like, oh, this might pass over. In the summer, the heat, the humidity just, I guess, brews these short rainstorms. Mm-hmm. Dude, I didn't see anything clear for a while. I was like, this might be a wrap. So me and my buddy, we tried to stick out there for as long as we possibly could in the rain. I have pretty hilarious photos. I'll probably try to stitch it in here. But then the horn sounded off, and they told everyone to seek cover, go to their cars. Go to your cars. And we go to our cars. And then they sent out another text, something about no reentry, strict no reentry.
Well, did you run to your car? Because I know you're not one for elements.
Yeah,
so
I don't do elements.
I'm assuming you got to your car pretty quickly.
One thing about me is I don't do elements. My brother actually stuck out there in the rain. Like, he did it. Him and his buddies did it. Oof. After a little while, I tried. But the rain just kept getting thicker and thicker. So then we ran to the car. Luckily, I had a towel and a change of clothes in there. It was just beautiful. It's beautiful. Like the way that towel, it looked like a golden chest in prime Fortnite, right? Legendary chest. But yeah, man, they told us to go to our cars, and then we tried to get back in, and they were like, no reentry. And then there was like a little protest going on outside the gates, and more cops came over, and I think they figured it was getting a little too uneasy. They didn't have enough bodies to guard the gate, so I think a supervisor made a call to let people in, just to, I guess, calm everyone down. So we ran into the AT&T, and man, just that they gave us an absolute cinematic finish into the playoff.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. The Norway fans were out there. Like, that was also the best part, is like, because it's the World Cup.
Yeah.
2026 might go down as one of the greatest summers ever. But because it's like the World Cup, Norway fans were outside. Like, there's Scotland fans outside too, but like, they had their jerseys on, and they were following Victor around the course, and it was just amazing. They're doing their Viking Road chant, the who. Like, it was awesome. I love that place, man. Love it.
No, we went last year.
Yeah.
I think, what was it? Practice? I don't know if we went practice or Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
And I've also been a year before. I think the Travelers is a top 5 golf tournament across the PGA Tour. I really, really do. And it's funny, we talked about a couple weeks ago, like, would you rather a really grueling golf tournament where like the winner's at even par, 1 under, or like a tournament where, the winner could be 25 under, 20 under. And I think we both kind of like leaned towards that grueling golf tournament, but the Travelers is the complete opposite. Yeah. And I have no problem with it. I just think because I think Cromwell, where it's hosted, really buys into the tournament, and the people of Connecticut really love the fact that they get to host this event and it's a stadium course, so it sets up really well for the fans and everybody's there to have a really cool time. I think the players love it. I mean, it is I believe it's an elevated event now. But even before that, like you were getting top golfers, coming to this little town in Connecticut to play in the Travelers. And yeah, I just think it's overall such a great tournament. And yesterday, you're right, it's Sunday, fourth round finish was absolutely incredible. Scottie made some huge par putts. We saw some emotion out of Scottie, which, usually you don't really get, but we saw, fist pump when he made that par putt on 18 and ends up missing, an even easier putt today on 18 in the playoff. And again, goes back to literally what we were talking about last episode in that, if you just get just a little bit better putting from Scottie, like it's game over for everyone else, but we're not getting it. We're just simply, it's like just when you think he's got it figured out, it's like, how does he miss that putt? I mean, he got the line from Viktor and, put a little too much pace on it, lips out. Yesterday, I mean, his putt on 18, the first one had way too much pace blows by the hole. You're like, oh my gosh, he's going to 3-putt and lose the tournament. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think like another great week off. Like that was such a great tournament to follow up the U.S. Open. Like to go from the U.S. Open and then you're like, oh, okay, now this week's tournament's probably not going to be as great. It's like, no, the Travelers, everybody's showing out and like it was an unbelievable tournament. But
do you think this? Like, do you think if like the Travelers was held in like Florida or in some like premier destination, you think it'd be more of a spectacle to the rest of the golf game? No,
I don't think so because I think that it would become just another event, even if it's a signature event and the pool is bigger for the golfers and you still get the high name guys. Like, I just don't think. I think it just becomes another event for like the people down in Florida, or if it was in if the Travelers was at, let's say, Pebble Beach. Like, I mean, Pebble Beach gets great turnout regardless. But, like, I just think that because it's in Cromwell, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I just think that I think the people just really buy into it. I think the fans, like, love it here. Like, this is something that, like, I think people look forward to every summer if you're from, like, around this area. I really do.
Yeah, and I think the community is great, too. I saw like there was a little discourse last week about like Long Island golf fans and like how they're staying on the game of golf, right? Mm-hmm. Where you do a complete 180 and you go to a place like Cromwell where the community, just everyone in the community just volunteers at this tournament. Just, it's involved somehow. And then like the vibes are just amazing. Where last week, like we were talking about Clark getting booed and it's just like a little much. Like,
people hate it. I saw someone tweet that they should have the Ryder Cup at TPC River Highlands, which would be crazy because it would just be an absolute shootout. But although that's what they made Bethpage into, for the last Ryder Cup. Anyway, but that would be hilarious if they actually had the Ryder Cup at TPC River Highlands. But it's also just such a beautiful course.
Oh my gosh, man.
I've gotten a chance to play it one time. Very fortunate for that. And it's just like, it's so fun. Like, as fun as it is to watch that final stretch of holes, like 15, 16, 17, 18, because you get the drivable par 4, get the par 3 across the water, then 17 brings in water. Like, it's just as much fun to play. Mm-hmm. Like, that final stretch of holes, there's kind of like a blurb in between on that course that's kind of like, the holes are a little But, like, that final stretch of holes is so insane to play and watch. Like, I don't know. It's like I said, I think definitely top 5 golf.
Do you remember what you did on those last 4 holes? Like, I know it's 15 is the short 15, par 4, right?
Yeah, 15, I think I just parred.
Yeah.
16, I was a foot away from a hole-in-one. I'll never forget that. The ball rolled behind the cup. So when it disappeared behind the flagstick, I thought I had a hole-in-one for like half a second. My heart dropped. So birdied that hole.
Yeah.
17
awesome.
I probably bogeyed for sure, if not double. And then 18, I think was a bogey too.
Yeah. 17 that's like the spectacle there. Like that hole there is just
elevated tee box. You can't hit driver.
Skinny fairway.
Water on the right. Thick rough on the left, and then you have to go over the water on your approach shot.
And there's just gullies on the backside of the green. Like if you go too long, you're rolling off the back. So.
Yeah, those gullies are tough for like your average golfer. Yeah. Pros make it seem so easy, but like when you're down in that gully, you just see like the green is like at your like eye level. You're like, what the hell am I gonna do here with this?
Yeah, yesterday I think it was on 14 or 15. No, it was definitely 14. Sam Burns, he whiffed on a chip right before he actually, maybe it was 14. Right before he, I think he sunk in an eagle from like 100 out. Yeah. Right before he whiffed on a chip in one of those gullies. And I was just like, yeah, I probably would have did the same exact
Seems relatable.
thing. So human. Relatable, man. But let's move it on, man. The World Cup continues. But Leo Messi, what he's doing, 6 goals, right? 6 goals in 3 matches. Like, most guys, I think the thing that we got to talk about the most is, like, most guys, the Golden Boot award is given out typically when a guy is up there with 7 goals, right? 8 goals. Like, he just did that in 3 matches. Like, I'm just so, like, astonished. And he's 39 years old. He turned 39 years old last week. And he's still doing this. So,
yeah. I fully agree. Like, I'm amazed at what Messi is doing right now. I really am. I think, like, it's out of this world, especially at his age. But I'm just I'm not really a big soccer guy. Like, it's kind of like a known thing, but I'm amazed at just how many goals are actually being scored by, like, these top dogs. Like, like, it's just like, you look at the all-time records, there's Messi broke it, obviously. Yeah. Mbappe is going to shatter it by the time he's done. Haaland seems to be on the same, trajectory of going to be able to shatter it when he's all said and done. And, like, Lamine, who knows what he ends up doing. Yeah. It's like, that's like what's really stood out to me is that, like, all these top dogs are just, they're putting it in the back of the net. It seems like with ease, but obviously with Messi, it's absurd at his age. Like, again, I don't really know too much about soccer. I don't follow it too closely, but I've always known Messi's the GOAT. No doubt about that. And then obviously, this most recent game comes off the bench and scores, insanely quick. It's like, this guy's on another planet. It's like he's playing for Inter Miami still.
No, seriously. And I know the MLS is eating this up, man.
Oh, my gosh. Eating it up. It's great for them.
Now Lewandowski goes to Chicago Fire. A lot of guys are coming over. Pulisic's supposed to go to NYCFC next year. But I think yesterday I was talking to my buddy about it, and he's like, it's kind of funny that, like, we're still talking about Ronaldo and Messi, and they're 41 and 39. Like, we're still, like, debating, like, their careers when they're on the back end of a 20-year stretch of just dominance. Like, we're still judging them as if they're in their peaks, and they're competing with the next generation of legendary footballers. So, the funniest part for me is, like, he said that, like, Messi is the GOAT, right? But, like, they compare the two so much to the point where Ronaldo's almost like they just kind of write him off in a sense. Not literally write him off, but he's almost underrated because of that. But he's still so great. Let's look at the list of the Golden Boot, right? I'm just going to list it out. Look at the names, these high-profile names in this Golden Boot race. Leo Messi, right, at 6 goals for Argentina. Mbappe's at 4. Dembele's at 4. The fact that France has 2 guys in the top 3 is absolutely unbelievable. Vinicius is at 4 with Brazil. Haaland is at 4. His first World Cup. This is unbelievable. And he sat out a game. He didn't even play. Dennis Undav with Germany at 3. He was on a heater those first 2 games. Jonathan David, that hat trick in that red card game. And then Harry Kane with 3. Like, these are just high-profile names. Like, this is what we wanted when it comes to the World Cup, and it's absolutely delivering. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's been great so far. I mean, I've got the World Cup fever. I think a lot of people do. Yeah. It's been really cool to just see the amount of fans that have come to the U.S. and just awesome, supported their team and the environments they've created, making these football stadiums look a lot better. And no, it's just been really cool. A question I have for you is, like, how far do you see the United States going? Like, realistically, how far do you think the U.S. can get? Because I'm still skeptical on them. I really am. Like, again, but I don't know enough, so I don't want to get, like, too ahead of myself. Also, just quickly before I let you answer that question, I don't know where the whole narrative about, like, England and U.S. playing on July 4th ever came from. Yeah. Like, I really don't.
No, it had to have been matched up. It had to have been a certain matchup, like, with the
but like it's not even like, it doesn't even look like it's gonna be. It would have been close to happening.
Well, with the way they had it set up, like,
I guess
it could take me 10 minutes to describe.
So USA plays Bosnia and
yeah.
Herzegovina, however you say it. My bad. And then if they win, they get the winner of Belgium and Senegal. So and then if they win that, they'll probably be playing Spain. So I'll let you answer. How far do you think the U.S. realistically has a chance to go in this World Cup?
I will say they're looking a lot better than I expected. Right before the World Cup, they had that friendly versus Germany where they just came out flat-footed, right? And I know there's the Havertz header, and then even before they had the Belgium friendly where they just did not look great whatsoever. But I guess in the second half, I think with the momentum they have, they kind of killed it a little. They slightly killed it with that Turkey game. Just resting too many guys, in my opinion. Like, it is still the World Cup, right? Like, you don't know if you're ever going to get these matches back, but to each their own. I think, all right, so the first game, Bosnia, the same nation that beat Italy in World Cup qualifying to get into the World Cup. So I don't think people should just be sleep on Bosnia. Like, this will be the knockouts are the knockouts. They bring the best out of soccer players. I think they can get past them. Now, when we get to Belgium and Senegal just winning AFCON. Belgium has been ranked in the top 5 for the past 2 decades. I feel like they're always the dark horse of the tournament, but they've never come out on top. Another great nation. I think the U.S. is starting to creep into that upper echelon, right? Like, they're getting closer and closer. I don't know if this World Cup will be the one or the next one, but I know this soccer generation's coming. So I genuinely think they can make it to the quarterfinals. Semifinal, final, that's like a literal like dream. Like, that is the fairy tale finish. Like, that, I think we're so far from that, but I think we are closer than a lot of people think. So I think they can genuinely make it to the quarterfinals.
Okay. I like that. I mean, I think obviously,
and that's
as an American, would love to see it.
Yeah.
I guess at any point into the quarterfinals, they were probably going to have to play either, those top dogs, either Argentina and England, the
Germany,
or Spain,
France, Netherlands, like all that. Like,
so either way, it would have to end up being an upset when it's all said and done. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, right now they're minus 260 over Bosnia Herzegovina. So I feel like they have to. I feel like you got to win that game, especially after the way you lost to Turkey. And like you said, they rested guys. Should they have done it? I don't know, but you kind of went out sad in the group stage. So you better come back with a fire under your ass, and you have to win. Do we know where that game is? Do they?
I believe it's in
Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's my. I got a question for you. It's a logical question. Like, what you think as somebody maybe outside looking in, or just in terms of sports.
Gotcha.
So the World Cup went from 32 teams, I believe, to 48. They added 4 groups, added 16 teams, right? And you see teams like Uzbekistan getting a chance to get into the World Cup, and Haiti, and like there's smaller nations that are not known for their prolific, I guess you could say, or high profile names and teams. Do you think the fact that they added 16 more teams to the field is making the group stage, I guess, a little more lopsided in terms of power rankings and like the actual outcomes? So like the U.S. right now, they come out against Uruguay, or I think it was Paraguay.
Yeah.
They look great, and everyone's like, well, it's just Paraguay, but that's a team that beat Argentina and I think it was Brazil. Like, they've done it. And then they also beat Australia, which is a team that's normally in the World Cup, but not like that's a team that normally ends up at the bottom of a group, third in the group. Do you think that is kind of adding to this narrative around, the U.S. is here, or other nations where it's like, Norway is here, but who have you played? It's not like it's the old World Cup where every team that it's in the World Cup is a real powerhouse. Now it's like there's teams there that are not in that top 2 tiers, might be in the 4th tier. If it's like logically, do you think that that's kind of adding to the narrative?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think you can almost like kind of relate it to March Madness in a way, and how they're going to extend that bracket. Like, what is it really going to do? Now, will it drive more revenue? Does it make it a little more interesting? Does it give, countries a chance to play on the biggest stage? Yeah. So maybe overall it's not the same as March Madness because in this case, it probably is actually way better for these teams that are going to make it and these countries as a whole. And, they're going to travel and it's really much cooler thing, I think, for them. But no doubt it makes it more lopsided. I mean, especially like, when you compare like, the top dogs like a France, a Spain, and Argentina, they get to basically coast through their group stage.
That's what I mean.
And it's like they have, literal scrimmage games, mixed in between here. So
like, Portugal, Uzbekistan, like they were just putting in goals. Like at one point.
So I mean, it definitely makes it more lopsided, but I think what you said, they moved it to 48 teams, you said? So I think 48 is still a good number. I don't think you can ever go any bigger than that. I mean, and then you start, you already started hearing all these, this is the smallest country to ever, make it to this. So I think right now they have it at a good number. Obviously, it makes it more lopsided, but I do think that, it gives countries a team to, gives more countries a chance to represent themselves and get like their citizens involved and, make something out of it. So overall, I do think it's good, but definitely more lopsided. And so we'll see what happens in the knockout stage. I'm still rocking with Argentina to run it back. I think, they just look really good. I think Messi's on a mission, so I'll rock with them. But I think we should head over to the NBA. We didn't get it was funny. We were talking, of course, when last time we recorded, we talked about the Giannis trade. Then it ends up happening. Giannis goes to the Heat. Which I think is a terrible trade. LaMelo Ball goes to the T-Wolves. I also don't think is a great trade, but, this is why people love clipping things and looking back on things, although I've been pretty good recently, in basketball, Knicks winning it all. I wish I got to find that TikTok back in September. I think I have the video saying the Knicks were going to win it all. But
keep the jersey. Shout out Fanatics. Champions 2026. I you know what? Again, here we go with the fairy tale stuff. I still feel like I'm dreaming. But yeah, the NBA.
So I guess we could go into Giannis first.
Giannis. Terrible. I think the biggest winners of this trade are the Cavs, the Pistons, and the Knicks. Solely
don't forget the Celtics.
No, because the Celtics wanted him.
Yeah, but still, the Celtics
didn't have to give up. Yes, but I think Giannis not being on a true contender because yes, he any team he's on is contending just because of him, but him not being on a team with another like top like all NBA second team all NBA player like Tatum or Brown, any of them, is a win.
Yep,
it is a win, and I don't know what the Heat are doing. I even saw reports about LeBron reuniting with Spoelstra in Miami.
Get another guy that works towards the basket.
That's what I don't understand. I guess that people are like, all right, LeBron could play point. And I was like, no, that's just, like, yes, he can. Yes, we know he can. But like,
no,
with that many bodies over a height of 6'9" on the court or 6'8", like that's. I don't know. Insane.
I don't like it. I got a chance to. I met over the weekend. A player development coach on the Celtics. Was pretty cool. And I got to like pick his brain about it. And he kind of agreed that he was like, it's obviously, Giannis and Bam is like, an insane duo down low, but he kind of said the same thing in the sense of like, it's just it's a lot flowing towards the hoop. And then I added, you have Wiggins. Like Wiggins is a great piece. Like I love Andrew Wiggins, but like that's another guy that like his game is more towards, the paint and around the paint than it is, outside the arc. Like, of course he can shoot threes, but like he's a guy that wants to get inside the arc when he really wants to get into his bag.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that like, I don't know what Giannis is thinking. That's what I'm confused because he kind of like, I feel like he was the one that kind of really determined where he wanted to go. And I just don't think the Heat really ever made sense. Like he always says he wants to win. If that's the case, I feel like he should have just forced his way right to Boston and called it a day. But I don't know. We'll see. But another trade, obviously, I brought up LaMelo to the T-Wolves. This is another one. I'm not fully behind it, but I will say I actually think this is a better trade than the Giannis trade. I do, because I think as good as Giannis is, I just don't like the spacing of the floor. Whereas with LaMelo, I don't think you ever win a title with LaMelo, and that's nothing personal. Like people are like, oh, why? Because his personality and his dad, this, that. No. I just don't think he's a serious enough player on the other end that you can win a title with him. But I do think it's better than the Giannis trade because I think the spacing is good. And I think that because he is such a good facilitator, it'll help Anthony Edwards. And then you have a really good defender in Jaden McDaniels. Anthony Edwards is good enough defensively. And then you obviously have a really good defensive big in Rudy Gobert. So like it kind of balances out because LaMelo and A are going to be scoring, probably 25 plus each a game, when it really matters in the playoffs because they're going to open up things for each other. Mm-hmm. So that's why I kind of like it a little bit more. With that said, I don't think it'll actually do them any good in getting them over the edge.
I think the one part about this trade that I don't like for Minnesota is that they had to give up Naz Reid, right? Like, I understand, yes, you went and got LaMelo Ball, but Naz Reid, I feel like
big piece for them.
Huge piece. And now I don't know what the Hornets are going to do. I think he's still he's still on the trading block. I saw he might be headed to the Lakers. We don't know yet. But that piece missing, I think, has to do more with the way McDaniels played in the playoffs. Because he showed us that he's a way better player than we thought he was. Mm-hmm. And he can actually score when needed to. When Ant was out, and DiVincenzo went down, it was really Jaden McDaniels before it was even Julius Randle. And that's why I think they dealt Julius Randle. Sent him to the gulag in Brooklyn. But this trade, like you said, I don't know if LaMelo is that serious of a player on the other end, right, to win a ring. I don't want to write him off because he's only 24 years old. He's still, like, most stars don't get that first ring till they're at least 26 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't want to write him off, but it just feels weird. It doesn't feel right. Two guys that I guess are kind of ball dominant in a way, but LaMelo's more of a creator than Anthony Edwards is. So I don't know, man. It makes me feel like I don't really have a lot to say about it. I don't know.
I think it'll be flashy and fun.
It'll be awesome. I'll be tuned in every game.
And I think that they're going to win another playoff series like they did this year.
Yeah.
And I think they can give another team, a good run. But you look at the West.
Yeah.
Is this going to take them, are they going to be able to beat the Thunder with this? I don't think so. Are they going to be able to beat the Spurs with this?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So to me, it's like both these trades kind of just left these teams in the same, spot, kind of. I feel like just, it didn't improve. Yeah, probably a little bit. But at the same time, it didn't really take you over the edge. And again, the Heat one, I don't understand. Just way too many people going towards the hoop. But we'll see how it plays out. There's these are examples of things that you kind of hope you get proven wrong. I'm a big Giannis fan. He's easy, very easy guy to root for. So hopefully we'll see what the Heat do.
Yes.
But again, I think that, like you said, Knicks are winners in this. The Pistons are definitely winners in this. Yeah. I would say the Cavs, but the Cavs are, they're not winning anything anyway.
Harden just declined his player option. They're going to get a long-term deal. Out of what he did in the playoffs,
it's terrible. It's really
makes
disgusting.
You think he's worth a long-term deal.
It's terrible. It's terrible. They're a mess. Just count the Cavs out at this point. It's now become a two-man race again between Knicks and the Pistons. And if the Celtics find some kind of big and keep Jaylen Brown around, they'll definitely insert themselves back into the conversation.
There's that stat that every team for the last 4 years that's
ending right
the
here.
Eastern Conference Finals
I know. The Cavs are going to cling on to that. They're not going to the finals.
I think it stops.
Allen is not a championship winning piece. With the amount of minutes he gets. Harden, way too old, not good enough. It's not happening. But did you see this over the weekend? You know what this is?
No.
You know what a broom looks like?
Yeah, we're sweeping. Who was sweep? Oh yeah. Oh, we saw it
over the weekend. Did you see that over the weekend? I saw what you put in the notes. I saw what you put in notes, and I had my own anecdote for the sweep, and then you put that into notes, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So I'll let you say what you threw into the notes.
You know, I always go back and forth with Dan from Yankees Avenue all the time in the comments. Like I love doing it because I love his enthusiasm.
Yeah,
I love his enthusiasm for the team. I used to be like that with the Knicks, but then your heart gets broken all the time, and you just start to, I guess, not play devil's advocate, but you do. Because you've been hurt so many times, you see the same thing happening over and over again. But he said, make no mistake, there's no excuse for what we just saw in Boston. While this changes nothing about the ultimate outlook for this team come October, being swept in 4 games by the Red Sox team, by a Red Sox team can absolutely cost you come season's end. Unacceptable. They almost got no hit. They almost got no hit. I got an alert on my way home from Travelers, and it said Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Top of the 8th.
No bid.
But
hey, this is the state I'm in with the Yankees. Like I really just, I'm not like, they went on a little winning streak. It didn't impress me. Now they seem to be, back down to reality. Getting swept by the Red Sox, who coming into this series were 14 games under 500, is such a joke.
Yeah.
And it's really just disgusting. Like really like of course it had to be the Red Sox. Like we couldn't have gotten swept by like the Tigers or something, but like it's terrible.
In a 4-game set.
Exact 4 games. Like it's hard enough to sweep a team in 3 games. That's probably one of the hardest things to do in sports is sweep a team. And of course it happens to the Red Sox, but like you put that in the notes. And so this weekend, I was in Vermont at a real estate thing, and I met these 2 guys from Long Island, diehard Yankee fans. They have season tickets. And I was basically saying, I said, I was like, oh, so you must be like Mets fans from Long Island. He was like, no, do you think I'm a loser? And then I was like, oh, all right. And then I was like, yeah, I'm a Yankees fan too. But like, they've been really getting on like, they really get on my gears like recently. Like they're just a bunch of, whatever. But, and he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, what do I mean? I was like, well, for the past 10 years, it's been nothing but heartbreak and just like, trying to run back the same exact team. To which he said, well, this year's different. This is a World Series capable winning team. And I said, you're out of your mind if you think this team can win a World Series. He was like, no, you need to stay positive. Like, Ahmed Rosario's having a crazy year. Paul Goldschmidt's doing crazy. I was like, listen, if you want to get into specifics, you can take your little wins and home runs and this and that. I was like, this team, as of right now, is not going to win a World Series. I said, again, they have the highest payroll in baseball. They should make the playoffs. The AL is a complete joke. I was like, don't look at like what the Mets are doing with their payroll and how bad that is. Like, that's a terrible example to look at. Sure. Do I give the Yankees credit for, not going through these lulls like the Mets and the Red Sox, even with a high payroll? Okay, fair enough. But then again, you still have a really high payroll, gets to playoffs. Like, this team's not winning a World Series. It's not possible. The bullpen was never good enough. The lineup is not good enough. This big thing about Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah.
Ahmed Rosario batting 240, which, he came up with another clutch hit last night. So credit to Ahmed Rosario. I'm not rooting against individual players, but like, it was funny because the guy from Long Island's like getting mad at me that I'm negative, but then I had to remind him last night because I got his number. I texted him. I was like, there you go. There's the sweep. And he was like, I can't believe this. And I was like, this is the reality. This is the reality with this team. And I also had to remind him that we're 22 and 23 years old.
Yeah.
Like this is all we know. He's a little bit older. He was like 33, I think, or something like that. I was like, you've seen a World Series. Me and you haven't.
No.
Like this is all we know year after year.
We've actually seen a World Series and it's pain.
We did agree on a lot of things, should Boone still be the coach? Is Cashman, has his time has he run his courts? Like we agreed on a lot of things, but we disagreed on the fact that he believes this team can actually still win a World Series. Where I think because the AL is so weak, they could probably make one, which I don't really fully believe. I think they would lose in the ALCS to the Rays if they played them.
Yeah.
And I think they would get their teeth kicked in by a team from the NL, just based off what I've seen. But again, look at me. I'm getting all aggravated over the Yankees, and I've tried not to do this anymore because I've kept the expectations so low this year, and now here I am getting aggravated again. I can't do it. Like, I don't want to talk about them. Like, it's just like this is the same thing every week. Like, this is classic. Get swept by the Red Sox. Pathetic. I don't know. We might have to move on.
There's only 4 teams. So this is the thing. Everyone's like, all right, you're going to get Judge back. You're going to get healthy, and then you'll make the playoffs, which is like, yes, that's cool. We're great. We made the playoffs, but we also have the 3rd highest payroll in the MLB. That should be the goal every year, right? But there's only 4 teams in the AL that have a winning record at the moment. Like, the American League is just so, it's not pathetic, but it's just so underwhelming. Which, in a chance, it always gives the Yankees a chance. But when it comes to going up against a team in the NL when it matters most, that's what happened a few years ago in the World Series. The Dodgers were just so much better. So much better. So, yes, if they do win a series or two because this AL is weak, will they actually get it done? No. In my opinion, I don't think so. But I really do, applaud people for their ability to be delusional about this team throughout the last few years and be delusional and always have the hope and the faith, because I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I feel like every day I'm looking at something.
I guess when you've seen the better days, you can kind of relate.
But it's even younger fans too. Like, what about this team has showed you that you think that they can really, really go and get it done? Like,
the kid from Long Island, his biggest argument was the fact that this is the best rotation they've had maybe in the past 10 years. Which I guess, yes. Yeah, that's cool. Yes. But to me, the hitting's not going to be good enough versus other good pitching in the playoffs. And the bullpen is so shaky. It's honestly insane how shaky their bullpen is. But that's what I mean. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. I want to change the topic. I want to get back to things that, are better. Things that are about it. So let's get into our about it, not about it of the week. My about it of the week is Alex Fitzpatrick, Matt Fitzpatrick's brother, who is 7 for 7 on cuts made in PGA Tour events this year, including the win with his brother that kind of got him going. He's got 4 top 10s. And before he won the tournament with his brother, nobody knew who he was. I'm not sure how he didn't have his PGA Tour card before it, because he's an unbelievable golfer. It's not like, he won an event with his brother and then kind of went back into, I don't want to use the word hiding, but just not as relevant. Ever since he started playing in these big time events, he's 7 for 7 on cuts made.
Yeah.
That's insane stuff. Insane. He's playing so good. And I don't know, I think it's just such a cool story too. The fact that you win an event with your brother. And, I'm sure they've been playing golf together their whole life. You win an event together, and it kind of sparks your little run on the PGA Tour. Really hope he ends up, winning a tournament on his own. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess, I could have, made him my about of the week weeks ago. But I just, I saw him on the leaderboard at the Travelers again this week. And I was like, you know what? It's about time I just make him my about it of the week.
Yeah.
James, take it away.
My about it of the week was going to be the Travelers, which it is. It is because the Travelers was amazing. Mm-hmm. Amazing. They almost lost me with the not letting me back into the tournament, but unbelievable. But I think my about it of the week is going to be June 2026 as a whole.
Flight team stand out is June.
Dude. I understand it now, Flight. I really do. Dude, we have the World Cup. We had the French Open in tennis. We had the Knicks winning it all for the first time in 53 years. We have Wimbledon this week now.
U.S. Open?
U.S. Open last week, right? I was at Travelers. Great tournament. Yes, this doesn't count because it's July, but America's 250th birthday is at the end of this week. So we're going into...
And the Stanley Cup Finals.
Stanley Cup Finals. We're going into July on a great foot. The weather's been amazing. I mean, since the Knicks won, it's rained once. This month will go down as one of the greatest months of our lives. Not to mention, family, fun, the sun, all of it, everything in between. Like, you got to go to Italy. Like, this month has been unbelievable. Golf,
Crazy.
the pod is growing a little bit. Like, unbelievable. The scenes, the city, New York City has been just the best it's been in a decade almost. The crime rates are dropping. What is in the air? What is in the air, man?
You're talking about it. It's so good. I got to know about it. I got not about
That's
it.
That's what I'm saying.
I got nothing. I was thinking last night, what can I make my not about of the week? I was like, you know what?
Dude.
Even my complaining ass had a good week this week. I'm not making anything not about of the week.
I really have nothing. Like, yeah, like, what is there? Like, dude, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, these last 4 weeks have been incredible.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
Listen, people said from the jump that the 10-year anniversary of 2016, you could feel the energy in the air. Once Fetty Wap, started releasing music again, people knew something was in the air. Yep. Drake dropped a triple album.
I didn't even say Drake. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So no, not about of the week for me, James. You got one? No, right?
No.
All right.
No.
Well,
June 2026.
Unbelievable. What
about it?
All right. So, I think we should. Last week we did like a little random question. I tried to think of some other stuff.
What do we got?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Which also, don't worry. We also made a video about Ilia punishment clips and stuff like that. I was going to go through them on the pod, but there kind of is a lot, and I don't know if we'd be able to decide in a good manner of time. So we're gonna go through that off camera, and then we'll announce it next episode, and maybe just do the punishment then. Yeah. If once we decide and get what we need to get for the punishment. So I have a question: if you were paid $100K a day, how long would you go without a shower?
Oh,
$100K a day. That's a lot of money, dude.
But
what makes this question tough is you have to maintain, you're maintaining your daily life while not showering. You know what I'm saying? How do you go to work without showering? And then
I've seen people answer this question and they have no shame.
I saw this question. The comments were nuts about you're going to smell me from a mile away, all this different stuff. So I don't know. I think right now I go a day without showering. I would feel disgusting.
That's what I was about to say. My livelihood, my well-being goes down the longer I don't shower. You feel sticky, you feel gross, you don't feel right. So your well-being already kind of just hits the tank. So I think I could go maybe 5 to 10 days.
Yeah, that's the range I'm in right now.
By the 10th day, what do? You don't sleep. I mean, you sleep in your bed. What do you do?
You're definitely not working out. There's no way you can exercise because you're just going to expedite how gross
especially
you are.
In the summer.
We got a heat wave coming up
but
too
to know,
this week.
Yeah, to know, like you said, you're continuing your day-to-day life. My day-to-day life, I'm going to play at least 9 holes of golf in a week. It's got to happen at some point.
Oh, my
right?
God.
If I'm going to continue what I do in a normal week. But
I mean, $500K. You go 5 days, $500K, that can change your life. So, I mean, I think that's I would say 5 days. And people can be like, oh my God, that's crazy. I would run it up to 10 mil or whatever it is.
It's not that
disgusting.
See, I know how people say that's life-changing money. Now, some people will be like, that's not enough money for life-changing money. Or you won't be able to last with that for your whole life. Well, that's because you're not doing the right things with it.
You could figure it out.
But you could figure it out. $500K, bro. 5 days at the end of the week, boom.
Oh, you must stink.
Walking around just feeling sticky and
you just be one big ball of gunk after
I don't think I could go
3 days. Dude, I go a day without a shower. Well, first off, I don't know the last time I haven't showered in a day. I literally can't even remember it.
That's insane.
I'm just saying, if I wake up and I don't shower in the morning, then you do stuff all day. By 8 o'clock at night, I feel disgusting.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine really going one full day without a shower, but I'll cap it at 5.
Yeah, I feel like the most, I said 5 to 10. What if you get to day 10 and you're I could can squeeze 2 more days out of this.
Well, that's another thing. Maybe you get to a point where you're so gross. Why not keep it going?
Yeah, that's my issue. So maybe that's what happens. I don't know. Me, I think that 5 to 10 range is that's it. Like that's because, like you said, on day 3, I'm already feeling like ridiculous.
Yeah, not really ideal by any means, but
no.
Yeah, that was kind of the question I came up with this week. I wanted to switch it up from relationships.
Yeah.
That was a good clip last week, but yeah, that's really all I got. Only thing I was kind of thinking of, I know like Love Island's kind of like a hot topic right now, and I know that
I'm done watching the show.
Yeah, I was gonna just see, because I know that you watched a couple episodes, and just if you had any like hot takes or just like a take on Love Island. I've honestly been watching the TikTok clips. They're pretty funny. I can't even lie. But
I will say, Love Island kind of, especially because of the fan base. I will say, I have like 3 takes. A lot of the people in this fan base live through the contestants on the show, right? Like they live through the contestants on the show, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. Yeah. Because you don't know these people.
Well, I was saying based off the people on the show, that's absurd.
First of all, the type of person that goes on to Love Island, already like you got to think it's not a smart decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like the fan base is just in an uproar right now, and I think it's stemmed past what's actually going on the show, and it's become a man versus woman war. But that's one of my other take. And then my third take is the show as a male viewer gives you an insider to like the I guess the female brain, or like the way like the
bird brain.
I don't want to say the bird brain because they're not all birds. There's a few birds, and then there's a few logical, like it's like half and half, right? And I will say it can be the same for men, but I think this show shows me one thing, is that this world, there are a lot of people that do not think logically, like a lot more than you would think. And that's probably why.
It's the epitome of life.
Epitome. The epitome. Disingenuous, man. He's hilarious.
God.
But dude, like you see how many people don't think with just clear-cut logic. And I think it's been a realization for me as why the world is the way it is. It really does.
So.
Because there's so many people out there that just don't think the way me and you may think, or the way our families may think, or the way I feel like I'm not going to sit here and say I'm some high intelligent person.
I was going to say, it's not like we're even saying that the way we think is the right way to think.
No, yeah.
It's just like you see these clips and it's like, how the hell do people,
there's a lot,
like, how do they get through their daily life? Yeah, there's
a lot of like decisions made just solely on emotions, which is another thing that I think that's a terrible decision. You should never make a decision based on emotions. And then like I said, you just see things from another perspective where you just sometimes I look in the mirror, like what is going on?
It's a crazy show. It really is. I mean, there's so many, like, I don't know. I saw someone once tweet that it was like whoever watches Love Island is like part of like one big social experiment.
It is.
And then, but also like, I don't know. Sometimes I like almost want to like give the people there a little credit because like, you know, they've said like, you know, you go there, you have no communication with the outside world. There's rumors that you never know what time it is. So like, and you're constantly being woken up early, late nights. Like you kind of just like become like, you're in this like weird mental state for like however many weeks they're there. So like I give them credit for that, but at the same time, that has nothing to do with some of the other shit they got going on that show. So I really can't fully defend them. But I don't know. We were doing, you know, little random thoughts of the week. I just thought of, you know, Love Island is a hot topic right now. I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So got a couple of takes from James on that. But
man,
that's all I really got. I think that was
I did want to go through a few of our comments from your Italy video that went viral.
Oh God.
Like these people loved your take.
Yeah,
and then there's people arguing in the comments.
Yeah, I was
a lot of arguments.
I got a lot of support. I kind of thought like once it started like blowing up, that it was actually gonna go the opposite way. But like one guy said 100% Italian here, and this guy is totally right, and that had 400 likes.
Yeah.
I know some people. Yeah, there's a comment that has 50 replies on it.
Yeah, that's the one where they're
talking about pizza, I think. And he was like, food in Italy is amazing and cheap in comparison to the USA, but the pizza is better in New York City. And someone responded, the most asinine comment on pizza ever, and that has 60 likes. Yeah, so people were getting really heated about pizza, which is an interesting debate because their pizza is like all the same style. It's like all, you know, it's why am I blanking? Holy crap. Neapolitan.
No, I was about to say Neapolitan.
All Neapolitan style. Now, it is a little more doughy. If you get like one that's just a little more well done, if you don't like the too doughy, like the pizza over there is still better just based off flavor alone. Like, I mean, the best tasting pizza I've ever had was Italy, without a doubt. Now, if you want your classic like slice, be able to hold it, like I do think, New York City kind of has that figured out. New Haven style, maybe like the eating experience a little bit better, but the flavor, you cannot compete with the flavor in Italy. You just can't.
I was gonna say, because my first trip to Italy is next year, and I can't wait for that. So I haven't had the chance to get it, pizza in Italy yet. But I was gonna like the ingredients. So you made a point about the ingredients on the first video. Yeah. So the whole thing about like New York and America is the amount of oil and grease and all these extra ingredients that are used in food that just add on to like things like cholesterol.
Oh, that was another thing I was going to say, because now you point that up. Yeah. Like you could also when you get a pizza in Italy, everybody kind of gets like their own personal little but you don't feel like gross after eating it. Yeah. Like the bread, the dough, like everything is a lot better. Again, you eat like even this same size pizza back home, you probably feel a little like just gross.
I used to eat a personal pie all the time, and it's like you don't do that often because of the way you feel after. Like exactly. In New York, there's a lot of places where you can go get a slice, right? They throw it in the oven for 2 minutes, and they give it back to you, and you can hold it like this, and the grease will fall down. And I just got to imagine that it's not the same way in Italy. No. That's what I'm saying. So I can understand, yes, if you want your classic slice, your New York style slice, right? Like that's amazing. Same thing when you come back from being abroad. Like, you get that first hamburger and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But still, the natural flavor, I'd have to imagine, is just way better.
Yeah, so I'm just, flavor is not even a question. And then people are like, oh, not enough protein. Okay, but like,
so thank you, bro. So grateful for your support. This is like, this means a lot to them. Yeah. A lot.
It is incredible that people from New York affirm they lack variety when in Italy. Italian food has evolved to be an emotional experience. People that hate it hate themselves, whether they are aware of it or not. That's a great comment. I like that. I really like that. That's a great way to describe, people, and that can translate to a lot of other parts in life.
I love that.
Yeah, maybe if you can't just enjoy the experience, maybe you hate yourself deep down. That's a great way. We're gonna end on that note.
The same way I feel about Drake music.
Yeah, you can't enjoy it.
If you can't enjoy it, hate
yourself.
You're not living right. You really aren't. It's hilarious.
I like that. That's a nice little way to just end on a high note, seriously, end on a laugh. But yeah, no, great episode.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was a really good episode there. And then we'll be back next week. Next week we will be back. We will decide the punishment. Hopefully we'll be doing it next episode too, so it doesn't get too dragged out. But yeah, I saw a lot of people commented some good ideas this time. Still, some people comment dumb shit like, oh, shave your eyebrows, guys. I have a job. And believe it or not, yes, I do have a job that I cannot shave my eyebrows for and look like a complete
Everyone's
clown.
Saying Spar Gaethje. Like,
yeah, like as if I could set that up.
We could just,
we'll just DM Justin. Oh, yeah, I said that you were going to lose. You want to spar? Like, yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Great idea. But whatever. So we'll figure that out. Another great episode. Hopefully this time next week, the USA has moved on to the next knockout stage. Yeah. And I guess we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for, keep supporting us. And we're going to try to keep going. Clips are going to keep coming out. Hopefully those stay hot. And we'll be back next week.
Yes,
I'm Rob Cardini.
I'm James Martin III.
And that was the Hillside Club. No hot takes, just real ones.
Yes, sir. Peace, guys.